Hey everybody, welcome back to the 10th floor. It's me, Matt.
Hi everybody, it's Kat.
And you hear?
Hey!
Hey, what do you have to tell me on the elevator?
I'm just want to tell anybody that might be listening to us in the elevator, can you hear us? Just let us know right away.
According to my thing, yes. But you know what they can't do is see us. And now they can. And now they can. And now they can. Oh, boom.
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom. Hey, you know, what is it? Whatever. You know, like I say every single time we're on here. What do I say? I ain't a professional. I got too many buttons to push.
Right. You say it every week. I just before we hit the button for 10, I just want to make sure that everybody can hear us.
It looks good so far. I think everybody can hear us. I think everybody can see us.
Is anybody in the chat? Anybody in there yet?
Not yet, but that's all right. I'm about to send out another link.
Okay.
And it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. You know, we could talk about the elevator ride. You know how nice it is, how clean this elevator is, and how well the janitorial staff does here at General Hospital, keeping everything all nice. Elevator ride, you know how. You know?
Well, it's never the elevators inside the hospital that we have to be concerned about when it comes to cleanliness. Never.
Right.
I tell you what, the elevator they always have to be concerned about, and it doesn't matter where you're at.
Oh.
Doesn't matter how nice of a place it is. Doesn't matter. Man, that elevator in the parking garage always is a stinky mess, right?
It always is. I don't know what it is about the parking garage, but people are the nastiest down there. Hey, Wendy. Wendy already has a question. You're still going to have to talk about Peter each week, Matt. We don't want to have to give up that entertainment yet. You know, I was thinking about, okay, so we all know Peter August is dead. Okay, Peter August has died. He has shuffled this mortal coil. His soul is now in hell. I mean, it's right? I don't think he's ascended. I think he descended.
Well,
because he's a murderer and a liar.
Yeah, I do see. You remember at the end of Ghost where all the dark figures come take that fool with a piece of glass in him?
Yes, I do.
That's who came and got Peter. Those dark shadows.
Okay, all right, okay. So
Peter, you
love,
poor
my
thing.
darling, I hunger for your touch.
Yeah, I think those dark shadows came and got him.
I think that's a great reference.
I'm thinking so.
That's a super great reference. I love that. I absolutely love that. Hey, Keisha, welcome to the show.
Hi,
so
Keisha.
you know, but what's going to happen is Anna already feels this. Okay, Anna already feels this, and so the rest of Port Charles is going to feel this. The ghost of Peter August isn't going anywhere, and although we might not have Peter on our screens anymore, that doesn't mean that he might not have an opinion or two about what's happening to his dear Maxie.
Yes.
So hey, you know, like all honest truth, I'm doing a podcast here. I'm trying to entertain my mind. I'm trying to entertain all you people out there in the internet world, with my impressions and my fun opinions about General Hospital. And it's sad that I'm not going to be able to rely on the Peter voice anymore.
Well, you guys, Matthew actually said to me earlier, not today, but in our earlier conversation, that the bad thing about Peter being dead is he's going to lose his favorite voice that he gets to do. And I said, oh, no, we can do a reference to him anytime you want to. You don't have to put that voice to bed. You don't have to.
I'll just continue to bring it out whenever it's appropriate. Hey, everyone, welcome back to the show. We got some regulars in this chat now. You know, like we got people joining us every single week, and I absolutely love seeing y'all.
I do too.
So, you know, thank you. Keep doing it. I guess we can sort of talk about the show. I guess let's just continue to lean into Peter, okay? Let's continue to talk about Peter. Peter August has passed away. Heinrich Faison is no more because he got walloped in the head by one Felicia Scorpio, I guess.
Currently her name is Felicia Scorpio. If she took her husband's name, absolutely.
Yeah. So, hey.
Why would you want to keep Jones, right?
I don't know. Maxie Jones, Georgie Jones. Just keep the Jones name. I don't know. Maybe Jones is better than Scorpio. Maybe you don't want to be named after a natural astrological sign. Maybe.
I don't remember what her maiden name was.
I don't know. Felicia Spencer. Felicia
No.
Watkins.
She's
Felicia
from Texas, right? She's
Felicia
from
Baines. I don't know. I bet somebody in chat might know. Hey, people,
yeah.
let us know what Felicia's maiden name was.
What
If
was
we even know,
Felicia's first name? What was her name when she came on the show?
maybe she just showed up as Felicia. Just Felicia one name. I don't know. I wasn't around at the time.
All I know is, like she said on the show, I swung that thing as hard as I could.
I swung that thing as hard as I could to protect my daughter. Yeah. I think the first thing I ever saw Christina Wagner in was this movie called Double Dragon. And it also had the guy that played the Terminator in the second Terminator movie. You know, the one that turns into liquid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they're both in that movie, and it's this silly kung fu movie for kids.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's called Double Dragon. It's based on a video game, and that's the first thing I ever saw Christina Wagner. Well, I think I actually saw her on GH first, and then when I saw her in that movie, I'm like, oh my god, it's Felicia! And I'm this 10-year-old kid just hopping around going, Felicia. Oh man, Christina Wagner, you have such a special place in my heart. Because we were talking a couple of weeks ago about just her natural voice and how I think it's endearing and you think it's annoying.
Well, I do. It's very situational. She didn't have her Cupid doll voice when she was swinging that tire iron.
No, that's true.
She did not.
But she's all pouty when she's talking to Mac. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, she gets all pouty and sweet and cute and Cupid.
I'm 55 and adorable.
Yeah.
Hey, 55 years old could be adorable.
Well, absolutely, she is 55 and adorable, and she's adorable with that little voice too. But I love it when she drops it and becomes super assertive and swings that tire iron and kills
that's what makes it effective.
That son-in-law of hers.
That's what makes it effective, because she's got layers. She's all like, oh, wah, and then once something serious happens, then boom, she's there in your face, hitting you in the head with I guess it was a tire iron, just a
yeah. She got it out the trunk bar. She grabbed
him off like a lug nut.
When she said that the airbag knocked the wind out of her, but she wasn't hurt.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
She was like, I got to go save my baby. She was smart enough to get that tire iron out and go after him. Oh, man, he was about to shoot her too, wasn't he?
He sure was.
He was about to shoot her. He was prepared
to squeeze that trigger right there. I'm going to get you, Maxie. You were supposed to save me. And instead, you've abandoned me like everyone else.
But he screamed it at her, though.
Hey, Andy, thank you for coming to the chat. Appreciate your participation in the chat. I can understand how that might be challenging for you with your visual impairment. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Hi, Andy.
Hey. So yeah. So tire irons and Peter dying and getting hit in the head and stuff.
Yeah, but he was screaming at her, Maxie. You were supposed to save me. It was so good.
Maxie. Yeah. I mean, really, when it comes down to it, there was a lot of wasted time when it comes to Peter August. And I get it. You're trying to figure out how to keep this guy on the show to a degree. You want to keep Laura Wright happy. She plays Carly. I get taking your time trying to figure out the best avenue that we can go move forward with Peter. But when they were on it, when they were telling the Peter story in the way that it should have been told, it was great. I really think that they hit a lot of really awesome beats during that, especially when it came to the characters that were around Peter. I know that there was some trouble when it comes to Wes Ramsey's portrayal and this, that, and the other thing that he does that people just weren't enjoying. But Robert was great. Spinelli was great. Anna was great. Maxie was great. Austin is great. Like, all of these people that were surrounding the Peter storyline, I think did phenomenal work.
Well, I think I was always disappointed a little bit with how Anna was just a little bit dumbed down because, I mean, come on, she's supposed to be this international spy and all that.
Super spy.
But at the same time, I think her experience was compromised due to how she felt about him.
Yeah.
She really did think that was her kid for a little while.
For the most part of this, she thought that Peter August was her son, that she couldn't remember because of the trauma of giving birth to him. and how Valentine gave him to Faison to be raised to be this guy. And how I can't just throw him in jail for this. I'm the reason. I'm his mother. I'm the reason why he turned out this way.
Always looking for a redeeming quality in this man, this underlying redeeming quality. She thought she really just wanted to help this victimized little boy.
Yeah.
That she should have been there for all along. And even when she found out that he was indeed not her child, but he belonged to her sister and he was indeed her nephew, the reason why she was given that memory in the beginning was because Alec had trusted her to save him.
Yeah, so this was the reason why Alex became a villainess, so to speak, because all my children, when Alex was on that show, she was not a bad person. She was a doctor. She just happened to be the identical twin sister of Anna. That's all.
Yep.
That is all. Yep. But she was a normal person. She dated people. She had a good time. There was drama, romance, but she was not a whatever. What are the CGC? What is it? The bad guys, the DVX. She wasn't a DVX agent at the time or anything like that. But now she is, or now she was, because of this. Where you were supposed to keep Peter safe. And now Alex is dead and Peter is gone and they're reunited in the afterlife together or something. Hey, Ethel. Hey, Daisy. Hey, Monique. Hey, Andy. Gosh, all these people in the chat right now. Thanks so much.
Hey, guys. Hey,
Peter is not dead. Well, Dante did say that they cut him open for an autopsy and stuff, and they cut open Franco for an autopsy, so I'm not sure that Peter's actually going to be able to come back. Ethel says that
I could understand why the audience is feeling that way, because I kept yelling at the screen for Anna to go back and make sure his dead ass was still there.
Confirm the kill.
Yes. Exactly.
Maxie, grab that gun and put one through his eyes.
Yeah. Grab that gun. I know.
They even talked about it in the discussion. Sam was telling Elizabeth and Finn that Peter was dead. And she's just like, I think I know what you're thinking. Because he's come back so much. I can assure you that he's dead this time. in Sam's whisper way.
I think that Peter probably is dead. I don't think we're going to see the character of Peter again. But however, we could easily see Wes Ramsey in another year or so because, twins kind of run families and her mama is a twin. It is GH, guys.
I mean, maybe. It's entirely possible. I mean, and his name is Pietro August, the good one. I was the angel. I was the one that convinced Peter to not kill Jason. I was the one that helped him keep him alive. Yeah.
Well, we got to give him another disciple name, Peter.
Gabriel.
What? Yeah, something like that.
That's an angel. Peter, Aesop. I don't know. He wrote some fables. I don't know. I don't know.
We call him Matthew.
No, I'm Matthew. I don't want to be Matthew August. My goodness. Oh gosh. Daisy says they're trying to make up for Felicia being a deadbeat mom. I don't think that they, quote unquote, are trying to make up for Felicia being a deadbeat mom. I think Felicia is trying to make up for Felicia being a deadbeat mom. I think it's being written this way on purpose.
I think so too. They're trying to give her some redeeming qualities. Well, when it comes to the motherhood section of life.
So Felicia hasn't been on the, she's been off and on the show a little bit here and there over the last several years, which has given the joke of Felicia a lot of time to grow amongst the fans of General Hospital, which is she's in town, but good God, is she not involved? Just like she wasn't involved in her kids' life when they were kids, she just dumped them off at Max and said, "Take care of my kids. I'm going on adventures with Frisco." And then
the last time she left, she wasn't even, it was just because she was just not mentally engaged in her life. She was bored.
Oh, is that?
That's what it seemed like the last time she took off.
Right. So
when the girls were teenagers, she was just bored.
She was like, I don't like this mom thing. I'd much rather be an Aztec princess with people after my diamonds. Let me go find somebody to be after my diamonds. Let me go. I'm going to be gone.
Yeah. It seems she had when she left that time, it seemed like she had two things. She was bored. She had hot pants. That's it.
And Mac's
But
such a strong, solid figure, such a strong, solid father figure that, hey, let's just dump every kid on his doorstep, right?
well, yeah. Look at Mac Scorpio, been on the show for decades. He don't have no child of his own.
Nope.
But he's raising everybody else.
But he's raised half the cast.
All the girls.
Oh,
Robin.
man. I mean, would
Maxie.
Yeah, Robin,
And
Maxie, Georgie.
Georgie.
So that's 3 of them. One of them lives on the West Coast. Gonna go be friends with Shawn soon, I guess. Another one is dead. Georgie has died. Georgie was killed by the text message strangler.
Yes.
Georgie, my most special friend. Spinelli found her.
Are you
and
sleeping?
said that. Are you sleeping?
I do remember that. we have made fun of that a little bit. We even made fun of that with him one time.
Yeah, well, I mean, you okay? So we met Steve Burton and Bradford Anderson at one of their Stone Cold and Jackal live shows, right? And so afterwards, they were doing the photo op, meet and greet, blah blah blah. Any fan, of course, is going to go ahead and do that. It doesn't matter how strong of a podcaster you are. You're going to go out there and you're going to try to get a picture with these people. So we do, and Steve Burton goes, "Hey man, what a great beard! Your beard is so much better than Bradford's." Right? And then Bradford's like, "Oh man, what the heck? That's such a mean thing to say." And then Mom was like, "Do your Spinelli impression." And I'm like, "Mom, no, I'm not going to do my Spinelli impression in front of a man that plays Spinelli randomly without any sort of setup." But it's just reminiscent of that, mom and kid thing. It was like, do the thing, son. Do the thing for them, son.
It's true. It's true. What's his name? He's a comedian. He's dating Chelsea Handler right now.
Oh, I have no
idea. Joe Coy?
He's the host of this one show that I watched, Metal Shop Masters or something. Anyway, what's up?
No, like he's bald. He's Filipino.
Yeah, Joe Coy. I think that's the right name. Yeah.
He said his mama used to do that to him all the time. Do Michael.
Oh, did he do like a Michael Jackson impression or something?
He did a Michael Jackson thing.
If I had a hat, I would, but I don't. I don't have one. Let's see here. Where is Frisco? You would think he'd be there for his only daughter. Frisco's really busy being the leader of the WSB. Frisco is often on secret ops in which requires his full attention and doesn't have time to be there for his 36-year-old daughter who was able to get through her own drama.
Yeah, but Frisco came back a few years ago during the nurses' ball and tried to get Felicia back.
Uh-huh.
And she left him and chose Mac over him.
And then
she did not, and he's been gone ever since.
She's like, "Well, you don't need me anyway. Mac's raising my kids anyway."
I was like, I don't know what year that was. I want to say 2010 something.
Yeah. So I mean, really not that long ago. Maybe just
not that long ago.
Just before I started watching again, perhaps. Frisco is the head of the WSB. Ethel, absolutely 100% that it's correct. Let's see. They do really need to address. See, this Frisco thing is a big deal. They should just need to recast him off of the guy that played him originally, and just bring back some Frisco.
I think he's on another show right now. I'm not sure.
Well, there we go. Makes it even easier. I don't know who plays Frisco, so I can't say. But we got what the Trevor St. John.
Last name's Wagner.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think so.
That's funny. So I mean,
Felicia was married to him for a minute. Christina was married to him.
Oh,
they married in real life.
Oh, well, look at that. Oh, that makes
Frisco
a whole lot
and
of sense.
Felicia got married in real life, and they're divorced in real life now.
Well.
Been divorced for a while, actually.
Jack Wagner? Is it Jack Wagner?
Yes, it is.
Isn't he on Young and the Restless or something?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think so.
See, Dolores agrees.
Yeah.
Jack Wagner.
I don't know.
Let me pull up a picture of Jack Wagner. Oh, yeah, I recognize this guy. Yeah. He was also married to Heather Locklear. Did you know that?
Was he really?
Yeah, according to Wikipedia, from 2007 to 2011.
Wow, I didn't know that.
He was on Bold and the Beautiful or something.
He's been on a few shows.
Yeah. Look at all this. And he's a singer. Oh, my gosh.
Yes, he's a singer. That's why he came back for the nurses' ball, actually.
Okay.
And he had a hit song one time. He did.
Was it Born in the USA?
No, honey, that would be Springsteen. He'd be a hell of a lot more famous.
Oh, he was on When Calls the Heart. That's something that JLJ Media covers. Oh, wow, look at that. Okay, sorry, everybody. Sorry to be distracting to the. He was on Bold and the Beautiful and 90210. They have a couple of kids, Jack and Christina Wagner do. Look at that. The chat just
Yes,
loves
they do.
themselves some Jack Wagner.
Yes, they did have a couple of babies. Yeah.
Okay.
When they were out looking for the jewels and all that crap and adventures, well, Christina and Jack actually decided they really liked each other.
Well, that's nice. Okay, Melrose Place, not 90210. This man's been all over primetime and daytime soap, so
he sure has.
But Jack Wagner. All right, so don't recast him. Just lure him back.
Yeah, you really can't recast him. It wouldn't be great.
Then lure him back. Lure him back. Dangle something in front of him and be like, we'll bring back craft services just for you, Jackie boy. Come on, join
and
he had
a good mullet there for a while too. Back in the day.
Nobody can beat Robert Scorpio hair from the early 90s and late 80s.
I know, right?
Robert Scorpio's hair. I just wish it could still do that. Oh man, it just
want to do it anymore. Mac had great hair back in the day too. But he's just a good-looking guy.
I mean, he seems to have it together here when I was looking at pictures of him on the internet. Let's see, have you heard the song All I Need? That's his hit song. I'll have to look it up after the show. All I Need by Jack Wagner.
And I think that's a song he sang to Felicia at the nurses' ball a few years ago when he came back.
You know, according to this work listing here, it looks like the last time he was on GH was 2013. So that was a little longer ago.
I told you it was a 20-teen something.
Yeah. So, you know, it's been nearly 10 years since Frisco's been on the show. I don't know what's going to happen. Listen, I'm all for it. What's awesome right now, folks, is what we're entering into is a new era of General Hospital. And I don't know if anybody else is sensing it like I'm sensing it, but we're leaning into a new era, all right? We've got some of these classic people running around having their fun scenes together. Anna and Robert, unbeatable as a duo. Like, you can't get any better, more sensitive, more loving, more real than Anna and Robert. But then you also got some really interesting stuff happening with, like, I think Marshall's interesting as heck. I think that Harmony is interesting as heck. I do. Fight me on it, folks, if you must.
I think they're interesting too.
But now,
well, you know what? But let's not get too far away from Peter right now, okay? Because we got to talk about that scene a little bit more with him and Maxie.
Yeah.
When he's saying you're supposed to save me.
Okay. Well, yeah. Let's. Okay. We talk about Frisco instead of Peter. So yeah.
Yeah. So she said, "You're going to shoot me because I don't love you." Oh man.
Yeah. You're going to shoot me because I don't love you, Peter. Yeah. Maxie had the pulse of. If Maxie had been more involved with Peter leading up to this, Peter would not have lasted as long as he did. Instead of hiding from him, if she had confronted him, then this thing would have been over a long time ago.
Because I think that I think she was willing to just die because she felt like her 3 children were okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, it would be a travesty for them to lose their mother.
Mm-hmm.
But she knew that Georgie and James were going to be okay with Spinelli, and she knew that little Bailey Louise was going to be fine. Bailey Louise was going to be fine with Mama Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So she was willing to die to take that fool out.
Absolutely. Yes. She was going to be okay. She wanted to protect her kids from Peter August.
Wanted to protect the planet from Peter August, right?
Then he got wallops, right? He got walloped. He fell down the thingy thing. Anna's down, Felicia's down there. Anna's down there. Everybody's down there. But really, man, really, okay? Drew being like, hey, we're going to call you an ambulance, all right? Don't worry about it. I am chipper right now, and I just don't know how to not be chipper Drew, no matter what's going on. But we're going to call you an ambulance, and everything's going to be all right. But know that you're a bad guy, okay? Positively Drew.
Yeah. Well.
He's just so happy.
He was happy. He was happy to see that fool down for the count. Almost knocked over my microphone. But I loved all of it. I loved all of it. And I loved Anna holding his hand as he died. I love that she didn't really call an ambulance.
So that's the thing, all right. So let's strip away Wes Ramsey and let's just talk about Peter August, okay? The person that is Peter August, who always was able to quickly slip away, and Anna was always there to give him an escape route on accident, but she was always there to provide a way out in some way, whether or not she called the car for him to hop in and leave, but she was standing too close to the fire with the documents that he was able to take from her and burn. He could rely on her not squeezing the trigger. He could rely on her to try to apprehend him and not let him die. And his realization, you didn't call the ambulance, did you?
Yeah.
Where he's like, oh my God, I'm gonna die this time. This is it. I mean,
my manipulation is over.
I know it's tough. I know it's tough, and I know it's fantasy and all that, and I don't know how I'd feel in real life if I was like watching somebody get a lethal injection or something like that. But no matter what life you lived, when you have that realization that the lights are going out and you're about to die, is always something that tugs at my heartstrings. It doesn't matter if you're the worst criminal mastermind that's ever plagued Port Charles. Those final moments of somebody realizing that they're dying and not knowing what to do is emotional stuff.
Oh, and it was so emotional for Anna. I mean,
absolutely.
She just sobbed. She did.
She did. And then afterward too, just the fact that she cannot hold back her real emotions when it comes to Robert Scorpio, I think is awesome. Because Robert's just like, hey, congratulations. Well, I'm Australian, and why are you so upset? I don't understand. Like, this should be a time for celebration. She's like, I don't really celebrate, Robert. I just killed my son, practically. He's my nephew. I failed him at every moment, and then I let him die. I let him die, Robert. Don't you understand? I let him die.
Yeah, and when she let go of his hand and turned around and stopped at the steps and grabbed the handles, the handrails of the steps.
Yeah.
Stopped and just cried a little bit more, and I had to feel for her. And then she just kind of like shook it off.
There is something different.
And went up to the clearing to talk to everybody else.
Yeah, there's a big difference between being in a gunfight and you shoot Peter and he falls and then within seconds he's dead. But it's self-defense. You protected yourself. You protected Maxie, something, whatever. Versus somebody being injured on death's doorstep probably isn't going to make it long enough for the ambulance to arrive. But choosing to not even call. But choosing that this is the moment that Peter August must die without him being an active, current, present danger.
Right.
And with the amount of arrests that they did on Faison and the Alcazars and the Sakaras and all of these other criminals that have come through Port Charles, arrest, to let one of them die is a big deal for Anna, I think. I get that she's been around a lot of dead people. She's been responsible for the death of plenty of bad people over the decades that she's been on the show. But to stand there and be like, no, I'm not going to save you is very different than killing somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So.
And that she did think that was her son for a long time, and she did know he was her nephew for real.
Yeah, it's incredibly
and
sad.
She wanted to see redeeming qualities in him so many times. She finally had to admit that he didn't have any.
Yeah.
That he really was.
Yeah.
Heinrich Faison. He wasn't Peter August. He was Heinrich Faison.
He was Heinrich Faison, absolutely. Peter August was the fake name persona that he put on when he was being in love with Maxie, because I'm just trying to separate myself away from that, because Maxie is my path to the future. She's going to save me from all of the horrible things that I've done and want to continue to do, but because of the love of Maxie, that's not going to happen. Ethel, you're right. Shawn did ask to leave the show, just to put that to bed.
Oh, the actor?
Yes. Yeah, I know. Quick departure from what we were talking about, but I wanted to end the debate there in the chat. Shawn asked for his release.
Oh, maybe he got some other irons in the fire. Good for him.
That, or he was just done not being utilized on General Hospital. I mean,
Yeah, they brought him back almost, like you
okay,
said on
fine. Quick
Twitter.
transition. Let's talk about Shawn Butler. Okay. All right. So Shawn, he's taking off. He's moving to San Francisco. Okay. I mean, this whole, you might sleep with Alexis once before leaving, but then that's it. He's done. This might have
Well,
even
they
been
were
his last episode.
might have been back in the day when Shawn and Alexis were in a relationship. Those two were hot in the bed. They were good.
What is
They
it
were
with
hot.
Alexis and having the hottest relationships on daytime?
Well, actually, Nancy Lee Graham, she got that whole love scene thing. She's really good at it.
She's like, I'm going to pretend to really bang you.
Well, she's good at it. She looks very convincing.
Oh
She's good at
goodness
it.
gracious. Maxie's a bad mother. Oh my gosh, chat is just all over the place. I love it, but it's hard to stay on one specific topic. Not sorry for Anna. Oh, Jacarius. Oh man, I hope you'll find a way to like the show a little bit more. I think there's a lot of stuff going on to enjoy Jacarius, and so just think hard about things that you might like, and maybe you'll enjoy the hour a little more. Anna gave the body of Peter back to the WSB afterward, and they did an autopsy and all that kind of stuff. Peter August is as dead as a soap opera character is going to get. Now, of course, there's always the Dr. David Hayward magic juice that brings people back to life in secret lab basements, but for all intents and purposes, they have Franco'd Peter,
Yeah,
other than
we all,
showing him on the morgue slab, you know.
that's true.
Peter's about
That's
as
true.
legit dead as you're going to get on a soap opera, so... now
I think currently they probably plan on having him stay dead, but like I said, though, he can have himself a twin.
yeah. But back to Shawn. So Shawn, he was underutilized during the last year. They put him in the social justice storyline with the judge for about 2 weeks, sprung him from prison, and then he was just an Alexis vehicle afterward. The actor who plays Shawn Blakemore. I mean, I don't know him. I've never talked to him. I've never had a conversation with him or anything like that. But if I were to crawl into his shoes with just sheer speculation and speculation alone, I would say he found something else to do, or he wanted to open up his schedule to do something else and not have to be called by General Hospital every couple of weeks to go do a scene.
Well, I don't think they utilized him. I mean, we were all excited about him coming back.
Oh yeah,
we
there was a
talked
lot
about
of
it
talk
quite a
about
bit.
it.
We talked about it quite a bit on here. We were excited to have him come back. I really wanted him to. I wanted him to have a storyline. I wanted him to take Jason's place. I thought he would be that's kind of, he did that before. He was in Jason's place when he was gone quite a bit when he was running Kelly's and stuff.
Yeah.
I was hoping they would use him and, give him some story.
Mm-hmm.
But they did not. And I understand why he may have chosen, he's a good looking dude. He got plenty of other stuff he
But
can
when you
do.
take a look at Shawn Butler, okay, on paper, he was in jail during TJ's life and found out that he was TJ's dad, like just before going to prison or while he was in prison or something like that. And then he comes out and it's just happy go family, Oh, I visited him every month. We've had a great relationship. We've worked out all of our problems off camera. No drama between Shawn and TJ. Shawn didn't have, like, they kind of were like, hey baby, rubbing shoulders with Alexis in prison, but once they got out, that didn't catch Kindle or anything because they've been focused so much on Alexis and Harmony rather. Shawn had this thing with Hayden and Nikolas that they dropped because I guess Hayden is going to be alive underneath Crete somewhere or something like that, and it wasn't going to serve the show going forward anymore. It's just unfortunate that the things that they were kind of giving him, they abandoned very quickly. And didn't give him anything that makes sense.
No.
In my opinion, it was primed for TJ Shawn drama.
I agree. And if they were going to bring him back and not really do nothing with him, why didn't they just recast him?
I don't know. Maybe it was just more intent that they just weren't able to follow through on, or something that just kind of fell
Maybe.
through. I don't know. Like I said about not knowing him in person. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes at General Hospital either. I can only
Yeah,
guess.
they don't consult us about a dang
I
thing.
really wish they would call us every once in a while to be like, what do you think about this? Where should we go with this? What do you think we should do? You know, if we could get the head writer on the show to just talk, you know, engage with the chat, let us all know, get our feedback and opinions. You know? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. Jordan told him that he was TJ's daddy. Okay, good. They should have brought Gia Taggart back to pair with Shawn, according to Lissa. She was a fiery fun and would be a great role model for Trina. Gina was who Nikolas was dating for a minute, right?
Yeah, Taggart's little sister.
Yeah, I didn't know Taggart had a little sister. All right. Okay. I'm with
I
it.
heard that Rial's coming back. Be on the screen pretty soon. Rial's
Jordan's coming back and Rial's coming back. So, I mean, they recast Jordan. Jordan's going to be played by another even younger actress, I think.
I know.
So, hey, you know, when it comes to Jordan Ashford, age just doesn't matter. She can have a 30-year-old child and also be 30 years old herself. It doesn't have to make sense.
Well, I think Taj and I forgot her.
Brianna Henry.
Yeah. They weren't very far apart in age, actually.
No, they weren't very far apart in age. Jordan is just a very young-looking chief of police. That's all.
I'm sorry if I sneeze or I blow my nose or something. I'm not going to be able to avoid that. I got a little bit of a head cold. I probably sound a little weird to y'all. So, you know, if I get boogery, I'm sorry. I'm just sorry, okay?
I think we can all forgive you for that. Gia is a lawyer now. She was engaged to Nikolas. All right, cool, awesome. Well, maybe Gia is gonna have to come and help her little niece Trina through some legal troubles when it comes to being accused of recording Josslyn and Cameron getting it on at the cabin and releasing it onto the internet for everybody to watch on Pornhub.com.
Gosh. And you know that ain't gonna really you can say that's her niece, but it ain't.
Well, no, I mean, and then with Taggart coming back and Jordan being recast, Jordan was the person that Portia told the truth to. So I get the feeling that since these characters are returning to the story is going to be revolved around that. Curtis and Portia are about to move in with each other. So that is also an indication that things might get a little tense. Some secrets might have to be told. Some sort of secret belonging in some sort of shoebox might be found. I'm not sure.
Something's gonna
happen. Do you think the Esme's video camera setup is still at the cabin to catch video of Sasha's snow relapse? Did Sasha go to the cabin? Is Sasha going to the cabin? I don't know. Interesting question, Lissa. Jordan could stay gone. She was a bad commissioner. Okay, let's just address Port Charles PCPD. It's a bad police department all around.
They're bumbling bobbies, aren't they?
They do not solve very many crimes. They often allow criminals to escape. They were transferring Peter from the hospital to the prison with one guard. Like one guard, a detective, and the police commissioner. Like, come on, guys. Come on. None of them were wearing vests. They were all wearing suits. Like, come on.
It was silly. They should have had that thing completely surrounded.
So what happened was,
they should have taken him by helicopter.
In the 90s, Sonny Corinthos and the rest of the five families gutted the PCPD's budget and ability to hire well so good that PCPD just hasn't been able to recover from the early 90s, the mid 90s, and they're just continuing to be bad at their jobs. It's like Gotham City, you know, the police are unreliable and you need Batman. So
you need Batman.
Thank goodness for Drew and Sam and Felicia and all of these people who are willing to don the Batman mask and get out there and solve these things for the PCPD.
And you know, Dante's a better cop when he's not actually being a cop. But doing cop things.
Lissa, yes, I do remember now. Sonny's cabin is at Niagara Falls, where Sasha and Brando are headed. Yes, I don't know if that's the same cabin that they went to, that the teens went to, though.
And the camera set up, it was just a cell phone. I don't think
it was just a cell phone, and I think she would have had to take that back with her. I don't know. Well, because she had left before. Listen, I don't know. I'm not on the show.
Yeah.
Jordan and Taggart are still technically married. I don't know anything about that either. You guys pay so much more
Yes.
attention to the show than I do.
Yes, Matt, because remember, and Stella threw those papers away and then had a stroke and doesn't remember doing it.
Oh, but
Remember?
I thought it was Curtis and Portia. Or Curtis and Jordan, not Jordan and Taggart.
No, you're right. It was Jordan and Curtis. You're right.
I don't know. And she did have a stroke and totally forgot. No, Esme is want to look at the camera. See, look at all these people talking to each other. I love it. The Marshall storyline is going to be interesting. I think so too. Marshall, good God. Okay, so Marshall, I don't know. Maybe he even knows the truth. I feel like he's going to be the connecting force between the Cassadine thing and the Ashford stuff. I just feel like Victor is going to pull the whole kind of cast together into some sort of big caper. I really do.
And don't you think there's already the groundwork for some weather nonsense going on for this heat wave in February in upstate New York?
Yeah, it's all about the Ice Princess and cooling it all off.
It's already
Definitely. And Victor the most. Victor with his popped up collars, and it's just like, I just don't know how you all handle it down here. When I learned my accent in England, it was just all cloudy and rainy the whole time.
Absolutely. It's going to be so dumb and fun.
Did you notice it's so hot? You know what, Lissa? You might be right. Maybe Victor is making everything hot because he keeps on commenting about it.
Oh, something going on.
They went to Sonny's cabin. Yes, they went to Sonny's cabin. Esme already went to get the camera. Okay, she was looking at it. Yes. Ice Princess kids. Hey, Dolores, do you remember the original Ice Princess storyline? Because I have seen the videos of it, and my God, is it some fun 1970s James Bond nonsense?
It sure is.
Just Miko's Cassadine around the control panel with Luke. Just Anthony Geary living his Hollywood heartthrob movie dreams on the diamond, the dollar and dime budget of daytime TV.
Back then they had some money to spend, though. They did.
Well, yes, but the level of tech.
Yeah.
And the ability to put together stuff. Yeah. But hey, I've seen the YouTube videos. It is fun craziness.
The control panel of the Ice Princess and all that nonsense going on, it kind of reminds you like of the star deck of the original Star Trek.
kind of jelly bean buttons and just terrible computer displays.
Toggles and nonsense, right?
And what's the password, Mikos? I will never tell you what the password is. Ice Princess. And everything shuts down. Oh, goodness great. You're just ridiculous nonsense. And I cannot wait, you guys. I can't wait, okay? I in the time that I've been around, okay, I haven't gotten secret underground lab other than Peter's body in the freezer, okay? Olivia Jerome was like hiding down there or something. I don't know. But she wasn't doing nothing. They use that.
It's like a triage unit underneath the hospital.
Right. Like. And who built it? Is it Helena's lab?
It's a mini hospital down there.
Do you know who built the lab? Is it Helena's lab? Is it Monica's lab? I don't know. Who built the lab? Chat, who built the lab? Who built the lab?
I don't remember. But, I remember that one of the explanations for AJ coming back from the dead was he was down there being taken care of by his mom.
Oh, Monica. If only you were able to do that after Sonny shot him. Helena built it. Thank you, Daisy.
Do you remember there right now, Vincent Azari.
Yes.
Was on State of Mind like 2-3 weeks ago.
Actually, I think it's upcoming next month.
Is it upcoming next month?
I don't know exactly when it is, but I don't think it's been on yet.
But they filmed it already.
Yes.
Oh, wouldn't that be great if that was the start of David Hayward coming to GH? Because I know a lot of the fans A lot of the fans are on board for that.
Twitter loves the idea of having David Irizarry.
Oh,
I listen. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, and we got to
I
have
think
him on the
it's
show so he can
Irizarry.
tell us. All right, Kathleen Gaddy. She told us how to say her name. Alondre Linier told us how to say her name. So now all we need is like Nikolas Bechtel to be on, old Spencer, so he can tell us. Nicholas Chavez to come on so he can tell us if it's Chavez or Chavez. And we got to get Rael Andrews on here to confirm that it's Rael and not real. We just need to have these long lines of guests to just 2 minutes to just tell us how to say their real names.
Well, you might just get your dream come true someday, Matt, and David Hayward may show up and be down there in that secret lab taking care of everybody.
I just wish he was able to bring Stuart Chandler with him.
Well, that won't happen.
Chandra wants to know, will we learn how Peter got out of the freezer? I wonder if Liz or her alter did it. Now, that is an interesting question, the second half of it. The first half, I don't think needs to be answered. He woke up and got out. How? Doesn't matter. He woke up, sat up, pushed the thing open, and then went upstairs. I don't know. The second half of the question, though, did Biz have something to do with it? Maybe. That would be interesting. That would be really interesting.
I'm really excited about this storyline of Liz and Biz. I really am. If the B does not turn out to be Biz, I'm going to be disappointed. I want that to be Liz and Biz. I want Biz to be nasty. Ooh, I love it.
I want. So they reminded us of New Year, or not New Year's, the 4th of July of this week, where Sam was like, "Remember how you came and told me that that Jason was getting married to Carly?" See, I got to work on my Sam impression because it's very whispery but also loud enough at the same time. It's very weird. Sam.
It is whispery.
She's whispery but also loud enough. It's anyway.
Yeah.
So they brought that up. They reminded the audience that happened. Their little bonding session. They burned a leather jacket and knocked Dante into the water, and that was kind of the launch of the Sam and Dante romance and yada yada.
Yeah.
And Finn was there, and it was a cutesy moment for the two couples and junk. But she was out there like smoking cigarettes and drinking and like breaking stuff. And I want that to be Biz. And
I like it.
Like we talked about last week, I want Terry's friend from childhood to be the original Liz. And the Liz that we know now is actually not the person that she was growing up. Or maybe it's even a third person. I don't know, because she certainly is different now than when she was a teenager.
Yeah.
Daisy, I thought it was Betsy. We have not confirmed that it was Betsy because it's not Betsy. Betsy's going to show up, right? And then Elizabeth's going to talk to Betsy, and Betsy's going to be like, "I don't know what you're talking about, you crazy woman.
I didn't send you a card."
I didn't send you a card. Yeah, she left her a message. "Hey, I got the card that you sent me." Yeah, and the response is going to be, "I never sent you a card." So that's going to be super fun. That's going to be super fun.
It's going to be excellent.
Leave AJ dead.
I'm
AJ's not coming back. Sorry.
I want them to leave AJ dead too. I agree.
I don't know. Did you?
Yeah, that list stuff is going to be good, man.
It's going to be so good. I need a little bit more information before we can really start running with it, but it really seems like we're headed into a very fun direction with that.
And don't you think the Liz and Finn relationship is just kind of falling flat now?
Yeah, because there's really nothing feeding into it. They're just kind of.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of awkwardly 14, even though I'm 48. Around you, Elizabeth. I just don't know what to do other than rub the back of my head when you're around.
Yeah, their relationship falling flat.
This will make it far more interesting.
I'm very excited for Elizabeth to have a storyline that's more gritty and doesn't have to do with her just what her flavor is this month.
It's been a minute, and the last time that she had gritty stuff, it's because she was cheating on one man with another. Like, she's been very saddled with being mom or girlfriend or wife or something to somebody else. So having something that is just for her is going to be super fun. And with Terry being a contract player, I hope that she has a lot of meaty stuff to chew on with this, because I know, just watching the Twitter page and watching the interviews and watching Terry. You know, real life Terry, which I don't remember her name right now, and I will later, but I don't at this very moment in time. But she's out there, and she is so eager to just chomp at anything that GH has to give her.
Yep.
So I am all for it. I want some more Terry Randolph. I think she does a great job. Be careful when Elizabeth starts cheating; she gets pregnant. Cassandra James. Yes. Yes. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Elizabeth and her best friend, and the boys, and the drama, and the romance, and the relationships, and just all kinds of good stuff coming our way. Thank you very much, Daisy. Yes, it was Cassandra James. We talked about Peter and Felicia. Wham.
Yep.
Liesl celebrates. Just wants to. Hey, where's the libations, my daughter?
I thought, you know what? I liked the comedic part of it because, I love it when GH is funny. Yeah. But man, have some poor taste, man. They're celebrating, and I know he's certainly worthy of being dead.
Yes.
But damn, he's dead.
Yeah, I mean, let somebody be dead for 10 minutes before we start breaking out the booze.
Right, it was like, dang.
And then I guess Britt keeps her booze in the plant, like in some bush in her office or something. Like it's behind the credenza.
Fire for that nonsense, can't you?
Liesl is a total mood. Love her. Schadenfreude. Oh gosh. What? Define that for us, please, Lissa. Andy, sweet voice, can pull off play such a mean character. I'm not sure exactly who you're talking about unless it's Liesl Obrecht, because she does kind of have a sweet voice, doesn't she? And she's only mean to people that she needs to be mean to. Now, I understand that this Liesl Obrecht that we know right now is 1,000,000% different than the Liesl Obrecht that we all met.
In the beginning?
In the beginning.
Yeah, she was unhinged.
Yeah.
And she was a face-on puppet.
Right. And
was terrible to her children.
And then she stuck around long enough to kind of turn around and become goofy. Yeah. The goofy bad guy. When she was the singing cabaret, it's a cabaret, at the
and she did the 98 balloon thing.
It was a Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome. At the nurses' ball, and that's when she became like silly, right?
Yeah, that's when she became more silly, when she was chief of staff.
Yeah, the chief of staff, and just
that's when she became silly.
A goofy antagonist, not somebody that was necessarily actually going to stab you in the neck with a scalpel anymore.
Capable of it still, though. I mean, too bad. We would have been done with Peter a long time ago if she just left him tied up to that bed and let him burn.
But her heart was growing too much. Obrecht in the beginning was really mean and kind of evil, but so was Britt, according to Dolores. Yeah, I mean, yes. Britt used to have the nickname of the Britch.
Oh, she was mean, horrible person.
It's just the mean girl and the catty gay. Brad and Britt, huh? Liesl with his bad true. All right, well, what did Liesl Obrecht do then, folks? What did Liesl do to earn our love and our trust and our all of that? That some of these other characters aren't able to do. Like people don't want to give Esme any time of day, even though Esme did genuinely try to reach out to these people on Laura's advice and have a genuine, real conversation that Josslyn shut down in 2.5 seconds.
Oh, she sure did. My gosh, you guys. Carly Jr., isn't she?
I mean, so is Michael, too. I mean, the Carly influence is really rubbing off on her kids recently.
Yeah, well, to me, Michael is got a little Quartermain streak in him too.
I just have so much more money and power that I don't know what to do with it all other than.
But I like Michael being a little more like that though.
Drama's good for drama. Drama's good for soap operas. If you don't got people causing drama, what are you gonna do?
I really don't want Josh to make a complete turn though, like a heel turn kind of thing. I don't want that. But I do like her tapping into that and bringing in her inner mom and getting her inner Carly out when she needs to. I kind of like it. But you know what I even noticed, and I think they really are trying to take her character somewhere else and make Josslyn more grown up, for one thing, and just giving her more edge. Even her flip photo, it's not a smiling, cheesy Joss anymore. It's a serious, more of a, yeah, it is. It's more of a,
I'm gonna get you, my pretty.
It's different. Did you notice it too, Matt?
Yeah,
that her headshot in the flip is different.
Everybody's a lot more serious in the flip now, though, with the new music and all that, and everyone's being like, "I'm a sexy soap star, not come and enjoy this fun hour of just soapy nonsense with us all." I don't know, if you were taking pictures to be on General Hospital, would you take like the serious, like classic soap pose, or would you be a little more playful?
Oh, I don't know. I guess it would just all depend on my character, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. All right, so when it comes to the Josslyn and Esme confrontation, that we have to call the Josslyn and Esme confrontation, because Trina literally was just sitting there. Like,
they were like, she was like a fly on the wall, wasn't she?
Yeah, even when she tried to speak up, Josslyn was like, "Shut up!" Like, she didn't say those words, of course, but the implication is that I've got this. I will protect you, my friend.
She was being a Carly.
Yeah, very much so. Now, Nate and Daisy personally didn't mind seeing Joss shut down Esme because she knows that Esme is fake. Absolutely. Does Esme deserve unyielding kindness? No. Does Esme deserve the benefit of the doubt for one conversation when she comes in there, obviously with her heart on her sleeve, talking to Trina, Trina's like, "Yes, I will engage with you and listen to you on this." I think that in that moment, Joss stepped over the line. Just in that moment, though. Had it not been that moment, it would have been perfectly reasonable. But she sat down, and the thing for me was that Esme sat down and she said, "I was trying to cause drama at the cabin." She owned up to it. She admitted to it. And had they let her continue to talk, she may have even deleted the sex video.
Maybe. I don't know, though. I don't have a whole lot of faith in Esme doing the right thing, even if the circumstances are perfect. Maybe, though. But she certainly wants to share it now, doesn't she?
Yeah, she definitely wants to share it now, and she seems like she wants to frame Trina for it. So she's just back on that same road that she had been before when it comes to trying to break up our fab threesome. You know,
I think she just, Esme just is a little entitled girl, and she wants to live a life of luxury and money.
She's entitled, but she's also desperately afraid of losing what she currently has, because she has had nothing up until Spencer. She had like rich adoptive parents who sent her to France. She's clearly an American girl, just like Spencer was. She's not all France and I am from this place. No. She's from Port Charles, New York, practically. So the abandonment. Spencer mentioned this week how he was abandoned by my father. You deserve a place in here, Dad.
Ooh, I like that scene between the two of them. And for one, Nikolas wasn't. Well, he was able to yell and be breathy, wasn't he? He actually yelled at him.
Don't say
get away from that.
In here.
Yeah, because Spencer called Ava a bitch.
Well, yeah. I mean, okay. So really, the Spencer and Nikolas are so fun. They are so fun together.
They are.
I know that it's drama, and I know that we're supposed to be like, "Oh no, look at this father and son fall apart." But you got Nikolas, who is just crazy in love with Ava, too in love with Ava. As lovely as Ava is, Nikolas is too into her. All right.
Well, Nikolas loved her a lot. He loves her, and he's lusty for her. Oh, she just checks all the boxes for him right now, doesn't she? All I have to do
is just offer you some handcuffs, Nikolas, and you're all mine. You don't own me. I think she killed her parents. Esme probably did kill her parents, but we're going to find out more. Or Ryan killed her parents. We're going to find out more about that later, won't we? Yeah. Spencer and Nikolas, so fun together. I really enjoy watching their scenes. I really enjoy watching them not get along. And honestly, a lot of it has to do with Nicolas Chavez. This guy, Ma, This dude playing Spencer, I don't know where they found him. I don't know who his agent is, and I don't know how long they auditioned this man. But if he doesn't like decide to leave to pursue other opportunities or whatever, Nikolas Chavez is going to be on the show for 30 years.
I think they ought to leave him on the show too. I like him a lot, and and I was not a fan of them replacing little Nikolas Bechtel,
because he was such a specific little actor.
Yes, and he had been on it. He was the only person that had ever played Spencer, and he was quirky and funny.
Yeah,
I wasn't a fan of them recasting him. I was hoping that they would give Nikolas Bechtel a chance to have his body catch up to his age a little bit.
Yeah, I think they were trying to go for that, and it just wasn't catching up.
It wasn't happening. But I love the one they chose to play him.
He's doing so good.
He's doing a great job. He's a very convincing Spencer. And I do not think of little boy Spencer anymore when he comes on screen. I think of him as Spencer.
Well, hey.
Well, that's exactly what General Hospital wanted us all to do, right?
Exactly. You don't even thinking about the other guy anymore. You're not even thinking about the other guy anymore. So chat agrees. Nikolas Chavez is great. Nikolas might not be too in love with Ava. He's just found his soulmate. I never really saw Nikolas in a strong romance with anybody other than Elizabeth. Now, remember, guys, I missed a solid 15 years of General Hospital from my teenage years to adulthood. So there was a lot of Nikolas's relationships and drama and stuff that I didn't see. I went from teenage Nikolas to this Nikolas. It's pretty much my journey with him. So, so I don't know. I don't know if Ava's his soulmate or not, or if it's just the flavor of the decade.
Well, they both kind of are. They are similar.
Mm-hmm.
They
kind of the black sheep that wants to do well.
But circumstances make them do things that are.
Mm-hmm. These other people are pushing me, and I have to strike back. Lissa says Esme is awfully sexual for somebody so young. I wonder if that plays into her past, potentially, or she just at an early age realized what her greatest weapons were with men. I mean, I've never lived a day of my life as a woman, so I really couldn't say, but I would think that there's a certain point of your teenage life where you realize that you got a couple of things going for you that the average person does not, that bends people to your whim if you use them correctly. I can't say. I
can't wait to hear Esme's backstory and why she is the way she is. It will be divulged to us eventually why Esme is the way she is, what created the Esme young woman, why.
I mean, trauma when she was younger. We already know that she was adopted. It seems as though she was adopted by super rich people, and she might have been cut off at this point by now because she is very dependent on Spencer and his family.
She don't have no money.
She doesn't have anything of her own. As much as she walks around like, oh, this, that, and the other thing, and it's just all to distract from the fact that she really doesn't have anything, which does make her extra desperate and extra jealous, not envious. All right, get the word usage right. All right, envy is when you're afraid somebody's going to take something away from. No, envy is when you want something that somebody else has. Jealousy is when you are afraid somebody's going to take something away from you and keep it for themselves, or something. I don't know. Don't talk to me. Regardless, fix it in chat for me if I got that backwards. Whatever. Anyway, she's very jealous, very jealous of the friendship that Spencer has, and worried that is going to take away from the connection that she has with Spencer. In France, it was Spencer and Esme. That was it. They were the core of the group. That's what it was. They were the people that loved each other the most.
As long as he was away from his friends and his family, he was so she could manipulate him in almost any way she wanted to. When he was away from his friends and family, and when he was feeling injured from his father, and he was injured by his father. His father that was so wrong of Nikolas to let that boy think he was dead for 3 years. Come on, who does that to a person they supposedly love?
Some big jerk.
Some terrible bad dad. He's a bad dad. Well, he's Jason bad dad. Okay, bad dad.
Well, at least Jason wasn't pretending to be dead.
That's true. So, yeah, I mean, Nikolas Lora's got a reason to be mad at that and mad at him. And I think that Esme just, she capitalizes on people's hurt, misfortune, anything.
Yeah.
She's awful. Because I think she's a little bit cuckoo too, a little bit got some mental illness going on, because we all know she's a Chamberlain.
Somehow just connected to the Chamberlains at some point. Nikolas was good with Emily. Nikolas hasn't been the same after Emily. Apparently, if Emily was alive, Nikolas wouldn't pay Ava a second chance. Apparently, Emily was where it was at for Nikolas.
Yes, Emily and Nikolas's storyline was sweet, and yes, it was lovely.
Well, if it wasn't for that dang Diego Alcazar, we would still have Emily as well.
I think he didn't she die in his arms, I believe, at some ball that was done on Spoon Island, I believe. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Ooh. Chandra. Spell it out for me, please. This is why I liked the Laura and Esme scene. Mom, you will remember that Laura was a trip as a teenager, and she'll know the signs. So is Laura seeing a young Laura in Esme to a degree and wanting to guide her to good decision making? Maybe.
Well, I think Laura as a character is just very maternal, and she wants to guide everybody that way. I mean, she tore down Esme in that conversation, telling her, all the things that she did wrong, but then at the end, just trying to build her up. She tore her down to try to build her up.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very maternal kind of thing. Hey, you did this and this and this and this and this, and this is all wrong, but you're capable of better.
Laura, just support Charles's mom.
Yeah.
Dolores, thank you so much for defining jealousy and envy for me in the chat. I appreciate it. The pressure of performance, the pressure of trying to fill an hour with my voice. Sometimes I'm just not going to always be accurate. Laura was never as bad as Esme. Definitely not. But Laura, Laura could have been bad as Esme had she not had the people in her life steering her correctly. We saw how Cyrus Renaud turned up, and they shared DNA. And Martin Gray's not all that spotless of a person either. So maybe Laura just got lucky.
Yeah, they haven't really told us exactly what kind of things that Martin has done, but we know that he's paid his alimony up the wazoo. He's talked about it a couple of times.
Yeah. It's a Chandra, by the way. Chandra. Thank you so much, Chandra.
So he's had some misgivings in his life. They just haven't really explained it very well. Right. And I wish, and they have said on screen that he and Lucy are together.
Yes.
Well, they don't really show us Lucy and him together.
Well, we can't be seen in public, you see, because if Valentine gets wind of our relationship, I'm gonna have to drop him as a client, and I just don't want to lose that money. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna date not only so Valentine can't see us, but we're also gonna date in a way that the audience can't see us as well.
Indeed.
Oh gosh. Let's see. What does redeemed Esme look like? How does she act? Who are her friends? Who would be a good choice for Esme to live with after her redemption? These are very challenging questions for me to answer. I don't know. I don't think we know enough about bad Esme to even speculate on good Esme, right?
I think Esme, for her to be good, she needs to be stripped down to nothing.
Yeah.
She needs to be living in one of those non-existent rooms above Kelly's.
And that's when she starts sleeping with Cameron.
She got, who knows what kind of plan she's got. I think she kind of wings it a little bit.
Okay, yeah. What also is...
Esme, don't you think Esme is a little more, more reactive than calculated to a certain degree?
Oh, I would think so. I don't think that she's necessarily planning everything out all the way through. And I think it's an important note that Esme's plans really don't work out for her very well very often. This cabin thing is the thing that's worked out the best for her so far, in that nobody realizes that she did anything. Blowing up Ava's car, people figured that out. It kind of put a spotlight on Spencer and flushed him out from hiding. And then telling Sonny that Nikolas and Ava were running away with Avery didn't really work out either. Because Sonny was just like, what are you talking about? Esme told me. And they're like, we're not taking her anywhere. What the heck? Like, it was a very short-lived thing. So like in this thing here.
But Esme did figure out pretty soon after that, I shouldn't be messing with that Sonny character.
Well, no. I don't know what but then that continues to support. She doesn't know what she's getting into. She doesn't know who these people are. She doesn't know how dangerous somebody can be, and she's trying it anyway. Her time with Ryan has already been cut short because she isn't careful about limiting who knows what she's up to. Esme does not do a good job at being bad. So we'll see how quickly this blows up in her face, too. All she did was change the cover of a cell phone. The cell phone case, so it matches Trina's look, I guess, is what she did.
Yeah.
That's pretty quick to figure out that it's not Trina's phone once you actually open it.
Yeah.
So.
And that's a little bit sloppy. At least a SIM card, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what sort of access Esme has.
And for Mom and Cat to figure that out is a miracle, okay? Because, man. But I can't help but think a little bit, Matt.
Yeah.
Even though a lot of us audience members are capable of understanding technology. However, I think they had the whole phone thing with the switch. I think they dumbed it down a little bit on purpose.
Maybe. Maybe they're just trying to tell a very easily accessible storyline. Maybe they're writing for older people who don't know how technology works, and so they're not analyzing it as deeply as somebody who's younger and understands how it works. Bingo, ding, ding, ding. Our audience isn't going to think about this. Our main audience isn't going to think about this. Only Twitter folks, Twitter fans, are going to think about the minor details of all this. What's Esme's endgame? Esme's endgame is to separate Spencer from the rest of his support system so he relies on her as much as she relies on him. Chat also thinks that Esme might have an opportunity to seduce TJ. I'm all for TJ getting down and dirty.
I'm all for TJ becoming more interesting, so yes.
Yeah, I'm all for sure. Why not? And even then, I'm sure Taj Bellows and Haley Poulos get along very well backstage. I don't know if they're dating in real life or not, or whatever it is. It was fun to see them on Valentine's Day. But I'm ready for even though this is a super couple, I'm ready for more TJ, and I'm ready for more TJ without Molly. I'm just saying. They've got themselves a stunningly gorgeous actor playing TJ. I'm just gonna say it. All right, he's sexy as hell. All right, they need to throw him out there doing sexy as hell stuff on a regular basis. Let's stop relying on Chase. Let's stop relying on Dante. Let's get a little more melanin in there, huh? Yeah.
I'm all for them. I'm all for them giving TJ something else as well. Or make him and Molly more interesting. There's been a lot of things they've could have done with TJ and Molly together that they've chosen not to. So if you're not gonna do something with that relationship, split them up and give them both something else.
Yeah. I'm with
Even though they are currently probably the longest running couple on the show.
10 years at least.
Staying together.
Wow. Dolores, a wild speculation there. Esme's actually a Spencer. I don't know how that could happen. I just don't know how that would work. I don't know. Bobby's too old. Luke definitely didn't have her. That one other sister. She's Valerie's sister. I don't know. Oh no. Oh.
Valerie's mom.
Let's see.
I don't think she's gonna be a Spencer.
Oh, Jennifer Smith froze Luke's sperm. It's not like General Hospital has done this before. Okay, Dolores. Oh. Okay, Dolores.
All right. Well, that's doable.
Now they're talking about Willow. What? Who's talking about Willow? Nobody's talking about. You know what? You don't have your own show in chat. All right, stay on our show. Okay, stay on our show. Stay on our topics. Okay. So Willow got lied to. Harmony lies. Harmony just cannot admit to Willow that she's not actually her mother. Drama. It's okay. Well, I guess.
Well, this is the reason why with Harmony's doing this. Harmony sees that she's making some headway with her relationship with her daughter. She's being let back in. She's going to possibly have the opportunity to be her real mother again and be a real grandmother to Wiley. And she just couldn't bring herself to tell the truth because she knew that she did, that would negate all the headway they've made in their relationship. And she might be, taking about 300 steps back.
Yeah. Hey.
And that's the reason why she lied. Is it the right thing to do? Absolutely not. I yell at the screen every single day. All your problems would be gone if you would just tell the truth.
Right.
Well, then we wouldn't have half the storylines we have.
There would not be a soap opera to watch if people just told each other the truth all day long.
People just told the truth.
Because it's not very soapy to be like, hey, by the way, I'm not really your mom. Oh, really? Well, that answers a lot of questions as to why I don't really relate to you. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Thanks for telling me, Harmony. We'll take care later. Goodbye. That's not very dramatic and interesting, is it?
No.
But I'm going to lie. I'm going to get you your birth certificate and buy another forgery, and then the forgery's not going to work because the forgery sucks this time.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's going to be like, why'd you get me a forged birth certificate? I did. You're not really my daughter. Drama. Bum, 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 bum,
yeah.
bum, bum.
And they're going to have to, and because she's going to get this for her, that's going to mend fences even a little bit more between them.
And the Monica are like, hey, this is ridiculous.
So they're going to mend the fences a little bit more between Harmony and Willow. And then Snow White's going to be devastated.
Oh, how dare you lie to me? Oh, you didn't tell me the truth. Everybody doesn't tell me the truth anymore. I wonder why that is. Is it because I expect too much from people?
Yeah, but I look forward to all that stuff going on. I look forward to it.
All right, Dolores, you're gonna cause some drama by telling the truth. You tell me the truth, okay, Dolores? You tell me the truth right now. Please don't tell me the truth. Nina doesn't deserve a daughter. Maybe not. I don't know. I have this love-hate relationship with Nina, okay? Because I'm starting to believe you guys. I'm starting to come around to understanding that Nina was not making great choices in Nixon Falls, okay? All right. I'll give that to you. I'll give that to you. However, but she is more in Sonny's corner than Carly is when it comes to this, like, caring about his health and making choices.
You are going to have to put this day down in history because I'm going to have to say something decent about Nina.
No way.
Yes way. She showed me something decent on Thursday and Friday. She really did.
Sonny, we can't do this. Not while you're drinking and your pills are all messed up.
Because she is just telling him some truth about mixing his meds, about the alcohol, about all of it, about him, always writing a be up next to her when he's drunk, calling her when he's drunk. You wouldn't have called me if you weren't drunk.
That's not the case. I definitely would have called you because I've called you. I guess I never called you when I'm not drunk, huh?
Exactly.
Sorry about that. I'm just trying real hard to get this DUI. All right, I need this on my record.
And he's going to get a DUI if he keeps on acting like a fool, isn't he? But yeah, I think I did even think that when that scene was going on, I was like, damn it, I'm going to have to say something good about Nina. Shoot.
And it's just
and listen, when it comes down to it, when he cleans himself up, when he's starting to feel better about himself and about life, and he's back on his regiment and everything's moving smoothly again, and he's able to think more clearly, he's going to be able to take a look at it and go,
Carly turned around and started banging Drew immediately. Like they just started boning in my bed. Donna and Avery can hear it. But Nina was there for me. Nina got me off Got me off the drink. I don't want to throw highball glasses anymore.
And she had an opportunity to jump back in the sack with him, and she didn't do it. And he was hungover, but he wasn't wasted.
No. What? Come on, it's still Sonny we're talking about, all right? Anytime he's a little bit sad, he needs to go stick it in someone, all right? Doesn't matter. Wife, neighbor, worst enemy, it doesn't matter. I'm a little bit sad right now. I need to go bone somebody.
Damn, Matt, you're dirty.
It's the truth, though. I mean, it's what I do.
Oh, gosh.
You're dirty, son.
So this med stuff, Chandra, this med stuff is interesting right now because he's on his meds. And so he stopped taking his meds for whatever weird reason he did before, because mental illness is difficult and sometimes you make poor choices. So he got off of his meds, and then he got back on his meds, but your meds take some time to build back up to that level that you need to actually be effective. And while you are drinking while that is happening, the effect doesn't work properly, and you get even more weirdly confused than you were before. So Carly can see that Sonny is picking up his medication. What Carly cannot see is him going to Charlie's every night and getting drunk wasted every night, which is affecting how his medication works.
Sure. And Sonny has always been a Scotch drinker, but he's never been a drunk, slurring his words drunk. You know, that hasn't been that's not been what they portrayed for Sonny before. He gets mad, he drinks Scotch, he throws his highball glass. Yeah. But, you know, he doesn't get sloppy drunk.
But he has been recently.
It's a bad combination because he can drink in solitude at home, alone, which is not a good thing. And then he can go to Charlie's and drink himself underneath the table for free because he owns the place. That's a bad combination.
Yeah.
You can drink in public for free, and you can drink nonstop in solitude with no one there to say anything to you. That's a bad combo.
Hey, Phyllis isn't here today.
All right, just give me the whole bottle.
Yeah, and you know what? I know it's not true. But the actor that was playing the young man behind the bar at Charlie's this past couple of days, I thought at first maybe that was Maurice's son. He has a similar look to Maurice's son.
Maybe it is. I never really did any research.
I'm sure it would have been all over Twitter if that was really his son behind the bar. But he kind of looked like Maurice's actual child.
People barely mentioned Helena Matson being on the show. Barely mentioned it.
But the young man behind the bar did kind of look like most kids.
Yeah. But you know, Sasha has been off this week, but Sasha's been on this week as well, being played by Helena Matson, which is Sophia's sister. Barely a mention on Twitter. So I don't know how much Sonny Corinthos' real life son, being the bartender, would have done anything. He gets wasted when Phyllis isn't there. True, because he goes there for advice. No advice is to be found, so he finds it at the bottom of a glass.
Yes.
Nina is a side piece. Maybe. I mean, sort of weirdly yes and no at the same time, because she's a side piece that is quickly moving up in the rank.
Yes.
I mean, right now, Carly's not available, so Sonny is leaning on Nina. When Carly completely becomes unavailable, it's only going to be Nina, which doesn't make her the side piece, but the prime piece.
Yeah.
And then someone else becomes the side piece.
I think we are going to see a relationship with Nina and Sonny, like a real relationship. I think we're going to see that. I don't think it will last forever, but I think we are going to see it for sure. For sure. And I'm probably never going to be a fan of Sonny and Nina together, but like I said earlier, she's forced me to say something decent about her.
This week, at least. This week. We'll see how she ruins that for you next week. Dolores says it's probably not his son, but he does look like him, the bartender. And then Lisa, coming in with what seems like legitimate information. I haven't been able to double check this. I haven't been able to verify it, so I'm going to assume that it's correct. And I always think that's the safest thing when it comes to new information. It's just to assume it's right. Sarcasm, by the way. That's not the way to go. She believes that it's Willow's real life boyfriend. He's done a few extra spots on the show. Now, we had a wonderful opportunity last week to talk about someone that started off as an extra on GH and then became a named character and is on every time you see her at the Savoy. And then is Juanita Arlandria Lenier, which we had a wonderful time talking to about last time. So, hey, check that out if you haven't already. Haven't already. Did you know that we've been doing this for an hour and 23 minutes and it's time to get on the elevator and get the heck out of here?
My gosh, how does this time go by so quick?
Because we have so much fun talking about General Hospital. And instead of having a fun little rompy hour, we have a fun little rompy hour and a half. What's up?
All right, let's talk about one more thing quick, okay?
I'm ready.
One more thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought those scenes with Maxie, with Chase and Brooklyn over at Jax's old house.
Yeah.
Coming to get the baby.
So great.
Oh, so good. So good. And deciding to change her name to Bailey Louise.
Yes.
And just giving Brooklyn, just softening the blow to Brooklyn of losing that baby. She's not really going to lose her. She's going to be Mama Brooklyn.
Mama Brooklyn.
I just loved everything about that.
Yeah. Yes.
I loved everything about that. And I think that General Hospital's done a slow turn of Brooklyn. She's no longer going to be that self-centered, crappy young woman.
No, this was the evolution of Brooklyn Quartermain.
This was absolutely she turning into Lila. Holy smokes!
So I really really loved the lines that they put in the mouths of Ned and Brooklyn during that, where Ned was like, "No, I'm going to stick around. I'm going to be here for this," and Brooklyn was like, "But what if you fall apart, Dad?" Saying, "But Dad, I'm going to fall apart, and I don't want you to see me do that."
Right.
And then he goes, "You know what? If I do fall apart, we're just going to pick up the pieces and move on like we always do." Meaning, listen, when you fall apart later, it's going to be okay. I'm going to be here for you, baby. We're going to put everything together and move on with our lives, and it's going to be okay.
Yes.
The unbreakable bond now that exists between Brooklyn and Maxie is hopefully something that's going to stick around and be interesting. I hope that Brooklyn still has smiles and happiness for her coming forward, and the next story isn't going to be her being so sad that she falls into Chase's arms to have her own baby or something, I don't think that'd be very fun.
No, but Brooklyn and Chase gonna have themselves a big old love scene next week.
Oh my goodness gracious. He was eating her face, Mother.
Yeah, they liking each other a lot. Yeah. Yeah. How they're gonna drown their sorrows on a bearskin rug in front of that fireplace.
With some classic GH saxophone music playing over it.
So anyway, yeah, I did want to mention that because man, those scenes were so good and so just so good. And I cried.
You cried,
actually.
huh? Oh,
I actually cried. Yeah, because I just thought it was so sweet and so fitting. And Maxie in the past hasn't been the most empathetic person to everybody in the past. And Brooklyn's always just been, it's all about Brooklyn in the past. And just the dimensions they showed these two young women and the real friendship. I mean, if they don't wake up Lulu, it's okay because Maxie got her new BFF.
Yeah, new BFF.
Right? I am all for them waking up Lulu, though. I want them to wake up Lulu and have Julie Berman's face, but I'm all for them waking up Lulu.
Baby.
I just liked it so good. I just liked it. But I don't think I'm going to be able to not call her Wheezy Face on because it's so fun.
It's so fun. I mean, maybe when she gets older, she, I'm going to lead into my daddy's DNA, Mommy. Or should I call you Maxie? Oh, goodness. Baby Bailey has so many who love her. She's the next generation Robin. Maybe. We just need Max Scorpio to actually raise her.
Yeah, Baby Bailey is so. I love this little bit. There's probably twins playing Bailey. I love this little Bailey, the little actress. My goodness, how can you be a good actress and be 6 months old? She's not looking up at the boom.
Yeah.
She's not doing that. Like
she's
most
looking at people,
do.
Pulling people's hair, like trying to pull Maxie's hair.
Yeah, and she's engaged in people.
Yeah,
in a film set situation.
That's
to be
priceless,
6 months
right?
old and be, It's amazing.
Priceless,
She's awesome.
priceless. Ma, I gotta cover the chat with my hand while we talk about the chat with the chat listening to us. Okay, is this gonna be super fun? You know what's interesting the most about implementing the chat to this podcast format that we've had, guys? We've been doing this podcast for almost 2 years, or over 2 years, or almost 2 years. We're almost in the 3rd season or whatever in April.
April 8th was our first show.
Right, April 8th of 2020. I think it was. So if you're brand new to this, go on to podcast apps and look up the 10th floor, and you're going to find years and years of podcasts that we have cut. So do that if you haven't.
I think we missed, we missed 1 week, right? We skipped a week one time?
Yeah, there was 1 week, but every other time we've had something to put up. Even if it's just a true Hollywood parody.
That's about 100 shows, guys.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, I think we're in the 90s right now. Anyway, I wanted to talk about introducing the chat because the chat has so many opinions, and they're so wildly varied and different from one another that it is one of the most interesting things about doing this hour and a half now with you, Ma, because we've got people who love Robin, and also I can't stand Robin. We've got people who love Nina and can't stand Nina. And it is just a wild difference of opinion when it comes to people who are watching the exact same show. And it's so unique to soap operas, and it's so unique to soap fans, because generally speaking, when I talk to people about shows that we enjoy them for the same things and the same characters and such. We get the same thing out of it that our friends do, but not in soaps. They love Anna and Robert. They hate Robin. They love Peter. They hate Peter. They watch for Carly. They fast forward Carly. It is just so interesting. To me, it's so interesting.
I had the chat up 1 week. I found it so distracting. It was hard for me.
I get you. But you got to see what it was like for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad y'all are in there.
I'm glad
listening and participating.
100%. The elevator's getting heavy, but I'm happy. We're so far away from the capacity, so keep on coming, folks.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. Loveless giving us more detail as to why she hates Robin. Here we go. I love it. You guys are just as part of the show as we are now. I started my Robin dislike immediately after she sold out Michael's paternity because she was jealous. Then she became sanctimonious.
It's true. It's true. But, I think Robin is kind of like, I don't know, most human beings are capable of crappiness.
Now, this was a long time ago. Michael's paternity because she was jealous. So this was 1996 when Jason was raising Michael.
Yeah, when he was a baby.
Yeah, when he was a baby. I remember that. I remember Jason and Robin in the penthouse with baby Michael, and AJ was the dad, but AJ didn't know.
And that's when he first started reading Michael, the book about Africa and geography.
Sure. Oh, goodness. Hey, I don't know. Robin's just the most powerful character. What's up?
I do enjoy it. I enjoy all of it.
It's a good show. It's a good show. Listen, folks, if you're not watching General Hospital and liking it, find a way to like it. That's my advice. Find something that you like and lean into that. And try your best to find something to like in what you don't like. I think that's going to be a fun experiment. Instead of immediately giving up on something because you just go, oh, like give it a moment, find something in it, whether it's the makeup, the costumes, the performance, a particular actor in the story that you don't like, a particular beat of the story that you do like within the story that you don't like. Like Marshall. Marshall had that same conversation a million times with Curtis. But what I enjoy about Marshall is the actor who plays Marshall. I like his rhythm. I like his voice. I like his interpretation. I like the mystery, but like the charm that exists within Marshall.
He got some coolness, doesn't he?
He's got some Billy D. Williams coolness.
Yes, he does.
And I like it. I want to see more of it.
What kind of made me laugh this week, though, is they showed him there at the boxing place, right?
He's just out of breath the whole scene,
right? And he's so winded, and he's kind of like fatigued, and he's tired, right?
Yeah.
But he whooped that Joey Novak, no problem, out in the cold.
Well, maybe there was no problem. Maybe there wasn't a problem. Maybe he was very, very out of breath afterward. What we didn't see was the 25 minutes afterward of him going. Lissa, you know, enjoying complaining is also a very valid way of getting through things that you like. I've done my share of complaining throughout my entire life, and I'm sure my mother can tell you that yes, that is a fact. I've done my share of whining. So, hey,
Yeah,
I'm with it. I'm with it. Honestly, there are things that I don't think are great about the show. What I don't do is just talk about it on the podcast, because you know I'm here to build it up and have a great time with you guys, not sit here and just poop on the show that we're all watching every week. That's not fun for me. But it's cool for people to not like things. I just want to make sure that that's okay, that everybody understands that.
Matthew, you know, you guys. Matthew is a typical middle child. He wants to get everybody to be happy. He wants to smooth things over.
I do. I want you all to enjoy the show.
You know,
That's
he's a middle kid.
That's all.
He got one older than him, like 3.5 years, one younger than him, almost 5 years. He just wants everybody to be cool.
Marshall is related to Louis Gossett Jr., according to Chandra.
For real?
That's what she says.
Huh.
All I know, Louis Gossett Jr., he was on a couple episodes of Stargate SG-1. That's all I know about that guy.
Didn't he play a badass principal one time?
Maybe. I know Morgan Freeman did. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you can. Are we shedding viewers, or everybody still watching us?
I think he was an officer and a gentleman too.
Oh, I don't know.
Gossett Jr. I think he made Richard Gere like jump up and down.
Love. I adore Liesl and Austin's shenanigans. Gosh, you know, Roger Howarth is just amazing, man, and I just enjoy him so much.
I tell you what I would do if I was Roger. I would tell General Hospital, you better pick another flip photo of me because I look like crap in that one.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, on that fantastic positive note, see, nothing but positivity here on the 10th floor. All right, let me go through this. People have been telling us how long they've been watching GH. Chandra's been watching since she was 9 or 10. Shikarius has been watching since he was 3 or 4. People have been watching the show for decades and decades and decades upon decades, and I really hope that we can get some fresh fans in here to continue to watch it for decades and decades and decades, because I love myself some GH, and I want to watch it until I'm 80, okay? That's what I want, so.
Yeah, I want to watch it too.
Right. So we all want to be just blue-haired old women just out there
I love myself some of this poster. I've been watching since Monica Quartermain was on the show, and now she's not, of course, but I just love her so much. And we're getting on the elevator and leaving now, so goodbye.
Yeah, we ought to get on the elevator, huh?
Oh, okay, the Robert Gossett plays Marshall. So I don't know. I'll look up the relation there. But folks, we're getting out of here. We stopped talking about GH a while ago. We've just been riffing and being weird. That's what we do at the end of the thing, and you'll be able to explore that on our podcast, on the apps, Apple Podcasts and Google Play and all that. So
all that.
So yeah, you just listen to us for the next week, just nonstop. So do that. Have fun doing that. Ethel started watching in 1963 when she was in the 6th grade. Yes, the beginning. She got to see the pretty girl. You want to be a pretty girl again, don't you? A pretty girl. You want to get over this and be a pretty girl again, don't you? I'm a doctor, and I'm going to make you pretty again. I'm Dr. Hardy, and you need to be pretty.
So dumb. But, normal back then, though.
Yes, very more normal back then. Loveless, we should call ourselves in chat the 10th floor janitorial staff. Yes, please sweep up our mess for us, please, as we just vomit whatever comes across our brains all across the floor here on the 10th floor. And you guys are there to clean it up for us and tell us when we're right, wrong, or otherwise. So I'm good for that. Okay, I'm leaving. I'm going. I don't know if you're going to stay, Ma. Are you going to stay? Because I'm going to go.
No, I got to go too.
All right. We're getting back on this elevator. We're going to go back down to the first floor. Okay. We're getting out of the hospital through the sliding double doors in the front. That's how you know you're on the first floor, is because they incorporate the front door onto the set behind the nurse's station. I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but I have. We're going to go into the parking garage where Victor Cassadine is just so hot. I don't know what to do about it other than to just let my
let my collar out. Someone just, oh, it's so hot. It's so hot. Only the cast irons recognize how hot it is. Me and Spencer are the only ones that are going to talk about it. It's so hot.
And we're going to get in the cars. We're going to get the heck out of here. So go spend some time with your families. I've been Matt.
I've been Kat.
And we'll catch you right here next time on the 10th